Welcome to the Protocol Wizard for BrainAvatar. In this demonstration, we will show how to use the software to acquire and process QEEG data. When you open up the Protocol Wizard, you have an agreement statement that makes it clear that you, as the licensed clinician, are responsible for the results. Here is the program we will be using to acquire QEEG data and to analyze it, just one program. This is the name of your clinic, which can be changed at any time. And now the first step is pretty simple. We go to the protocol guide, and one of the tabs, the third one down, is called Utility Programs. And these are the utility programs for Discovery, Freedom 10, and Freedom 20. I'm going to choose Discovery. Now that I've chosen this, I click Create Protocols. Now I can write down the name of this protocol, but I'd much prefer to copy it. Click, pause, click, right-click, copy. I'm going to click around here, and then I'm going to double-click on the head, and I'm going to open up BrainAvatar right here from inside of Joule. Create a new study with these settings. Create a new study with these settings. And I'm going to put in the name of our subject, and I'm going to give him a number. Now, in your clinic, you may only have a designated number or ID. But for our purposes, we're just going to call it John Doe. And then I'm going to paste in the name of the acquisition and analysis settings file because I had copied it earlier. And now I'll click OK. Create with current settings. And John is 44. And we're going to start with eyes open. Now we click Use Settings and Close. And assuming that the cap is mounted properly and the impedance is low, we're going to begin by clicking Go. Now remember, no one is hooked up. There is no montage. And so when we click this final OK, or the OK before the final OK, you'll notice the impedance meter just says 0. Of course, at this point, you would make sure that your impedance numbers are good, and more importantly, that the morphology of the EEG was good. So I'm simply going to click. Now notice it says eyes open up here, eyes open, and I'm going to click OK. And here is our counter. Now, how long a file will this be? Well, in some clinics, they acquire at least 3 minutes. Other clinics acquired as much as 10 minutes. So rather than setting a standard, I will just tell you to follow the standard in your own personal clinic. But one thing is for sure, we need approximately 1 minute of good data, good edited data when we're done. So now we're going to let this clock run for 4 minutes. Now I am going to shorten this in the edited video presentation, and it will look like it's just a few seconds. But we are allowing the clock to run for 4 minutes, just like you would do if you were doing a real QEEG. Now, what will we do at the end of the 4 minutes? We will click the Stop button. We will not touch the pause button, or that is the space bar, only stop. And that's how it's done. And now we're approaching 4 minutes, and I'm going to click Stop and then OK. So I have now recorded 4 minutes of eyes open QEEG data. I click the stop button, and now I'm going to go from eyes open to eyes closed. And of course, I have to instruct my client to close their eyes to make sure they know what is required of them. And now I'm going to click go and OK. And I'm making sure that the EEG is settled and that our client's not moving. And then I click OK. And since I acquired 4 minutes to begin with, now I'm going to acquire another 4 minutes, which means there'll be a grand total of 8 minutes on the clock. And now the last 4 minutes, as mentioned, will be with eyes closed. So let's let the clock run out to 8 minutes, and this will be abbreviated in this edited recording. And now, as we're approaching the 8-minute mark, which will mean we'll have another 4 minutes of data, only this time with eyes closed, I'm getting ready to click the stop key. That is the stop button. Stop. Okay. So now we have 4 minutes of eyes closed and 4 minutes of eyes open data. So what do we do next? Well, without closing anything, I'm going to go to my taskbar and simply open up the PW editor from my taskbar. And I'm going to go to load report. And this time I'm going to edit the EDF file. We have two EDF files, European data format files that are QEEG. And so notice this is our folder, all those zeros and then one, John Doe Discovery PW Acquisition. I'm going to open up that folder, and now I'll widen it out. You notice there's one eyes open and one eyes closed. I'm going to click the eyes open, and now the editor comes up and the sensitivity is on medium. So it defaults to medium and it defaults to SEMG on. And now I'm going to click process the EEG to see how much I get. And the answer is 1 minute and 8 seconds. So 45 seconds is about 80% accuracy, 85%. Over 1 minute would be just fine. So now what do I do? Since I'm happy with this, I'm going to click export file. And this now goes into John Doe's QEEG acquisition file. If we look very carefully, you'll see eyes open and eyes open annotated and eyes open edited. And now I'm going to close this and I'm going to load report. I'm going to load the EDF file editor. I'm going to go back to John Doe, but we've already done the eyes open. So now I'm going to click in the eyes closed. There's the eyes closed. It's chosen. I'm going to click open. And again, we default to medium sensitivity and the muscle artifact is on. And I'm going to process the data. And this file is also over 1 minute, 1 minute and 5 seconds. So I don't have to adjust the sensitivity or the muscle artifact detector. Everything is fine. I'm going to export this one. And now we can review the folder. And what do we see? We see the original file, eyes open and eyes closed. And then we see an edited annotated file and an edited compressed file that is splice edited. And again, for eyes closed, we see annotated and then splice edited. And that completes the QEEG process. We have acquired the data and then we have edited the data. It is now ready to be processed. Well, how do we do that? Well, we go back into Avatar and we would now like to process our edited file with analysis. So File, Open EEG. And now, for our purposes, we could pick annotated, but I'm going to pick the edited eyes open file. Open. And now it's edited. And now I'm simply going to pick a little section. I'll do that again. I'm going to pick a little bit of a section. And then I'm going to say analysis, the whole file, all of the data, the whole file, all of the data, Excel, XML. And then if you have not purchased S-Loretta, you click the four S's: summary, scalars, surface, and similarities. As soon as you click surface z-scores, you'll notice the age comes up. If the age is wrong, I'm going to fix it right here. But since I have S-Loretta, I'm going to click voxels, voxel z-scores, ROI z-scores, and ROI amplitudes. And now I'm going to click run the analysis. And if you look at the ball at the bottom of the screen, this file is being analyzed and an XML file is being created. The XML file will be read by the PW wizard to help us make brain maps and protocols. But that was just the eyes open. What about the eyes closed? Well, I have to go to the lower right hand part of the screen and click close. Now notice the lower right hand part of the screen and click close. And now I'm going to go to File, Open EEG, just like I did before. And now I'm going to read in the eyes closed edited file. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Analyze the whole file, all of the data, eyes closed, age 44, Excel. Everything remains the same as it was, so it's ready to be analyzed. So now I'm going to analyze the eyes closed data. It will be an XML file. That XML file will be read by the PW wizard for BrainAvatar. So for now, let's close Avatar and minimize the PW wizard, and let's go to the studies folder. Let's go to the studies folder that we just created, and it's right here, John Doe. Now, what has been created? We have our original eyes open raw data. Then we have an edited annotated file, an edited spliced file, and then we have the original raw file that needs to be edited. And then we have an edited annotated file and an edited spliced edited file. And what about these two? The analysis eyes closed and the analysis eyes open. These are the two files that will be read by the PW wizard for BrainAvatar. These are the ones that will be used to create brain maps and protocols and client reports, etc. So we have finished the first process. We can now begin at any time to open up the PW wizard for BrainMaster and to begin the process of creating protocols. So that ends this first video.